Hey guys, welcome back to this channel. I've got a video for you on how to stay safe on cryptocurrency exchanges by giving you some of the tools required to identify which cryptocurrency exchange is likely to be safe and which ones are less likely to be safe. And I'm going to give my own personal recommendations about which exchanges are the ones that are least likely to give you a headache, right? And in order to make this video, I want to first give a disclaimer, right? And this isn't a mindset thing that I want to instill in you. Whenever you're dealing in cryptocurrency and you're going to put your money somewhere, anywhere, even in your own hardware wallet, I want to instill in you a sense of something that I like to call a rational paranoia about failure. That is your belief, perhaps a paranoid belief, that whatever thing you're trusting in is eventually going to betray you in some way. And you can even say the same for me. I might even give you bad advice, and or maybe there's a wallet that you put your money in, it goes belly up. An exchange may be the same thing, right? When you're dealing in crypto, in a way, you almost want to be looking always to the worst case scenario about what can happen. And this is going to be a good mindset thing because you want to be always searching for the chinks in the armor of a particular thing that you're going to be trusting your funds to, right? This is your hard-earned cash. You want to be thinking about all the ways in which the custodian of those funds, how they could potentially be exploited. And I'm going to talk about some of those things here with you. But first, if you like this channel, make sure to subscribe. I make videos daily about how to debank and to reduce your reliance on central financial systems by using cryptocurrency and peer-to-peer trading. So let's get into it. So if you've been around for not even a long amount of time, you would have only have to have been around for at least 2 years to have seen the horrors of an exchange just going belly up. The most recent big ones were FTX, and there were other institutions like Nexo, BlockFi, and then we could go all the way back to Mt. Gox. The thing is that these situations are far more frequent than you think. I just mentioned a few of the big ones, but there are so many more that you haven't even heard of. There's little exchanges with just a couple of $1 million in volume every month. You've never even heard of their names. They go belly up all the time. And this is what I was saying to you before about instilling yourself with a sense of paranoia about how things can so easily go awry, and you want to be concerned about this all the time. Every time you're sending these funds to Binance, Bybit, even some of the things that I recommend, you always want to think in the back of your mind, what's going to screw up, because that's going to give you the right kind of mindset to protect your funds when you're sending funds to a crypto exchange. Now, I can talk about what some of the common factors that all of these exchanges that broke down had, and that is that these were centralized exchanges as opposed to decentralized exchanges. So a centralized exchange is one in which all the trading activity and the custodian, being the custodian of the funds, happens all in one place, right? So let me just pull up a little video for illustration here. Maybe I can explain this a bit better. So as you can see in the background here, what you're looking at, this is what you'd call an AMM exchange. An AMM means automated market maker, and most centralized exchanges have this system here. So each one of these little lines here is a price of, I guess it's a crypto, and there's it's usually one or maybe a couple of people that are buying or selling at a particular price. You can imagine each little bar being one person with one order, although it's not exactly like that. Just think about it like that, right? And these buy and sell orders are automatically matched with each other. There's no direct connection between these people. It happens through various algorithms on the cryptocurrency exchange, but they don't directly connect with each other. There's this thick membrane that separates the buyers from the sellers, and ultimately they're not going to each other. They're going to the crypto exchange. The crypto exchange is the one that manages all the trading inflows and outflows. So that's how it's centralized in the first way. The second way it's centralized is everyone's funds are pooled into one place. So as someone who's actually worked at a crypto exchange, what I can tell you about is that when you see your wallet, just say on Binance, I'm pretty sure in the background, I'm pretty sure this is a Binance thing. Let me turn this back on. When you send funds to your wallet on Binance, and you see like 0.1 Bitcoin has entered into your wallet, and you see 0.1 Bitcoin is now in that is in your Binance account, that's not actually really there. Now, what I'm saying is that when you send funds to your wallet, you're actually really sending those funds to a backend system on Binance, and all those funds are pulled together with everyone else's funds. And when they see, and then when they receive those funds, they're just going to type in, there's someone like at the desk. I mean, I'm sure it's all automated, but especially with these smaller exchanges, there's someone that will say, oh, okay, look, this person's received 0.0, this person sent 0.01 Bitcoin to the exchange. I'm just going to type in a little number on their wallet that says 0.01 Bitcoin, right? This technically means they can write any number they want, right? And I'm not saying they will do that, but the point is that when you see the funds on your account, it's really a representation of the actual funds, right? But what you're seeing isn't really there. It's a top layer. It's the front end stuff. The money is actually stored on the back end, which is really just pulled in together with everybody else's stuff, right? And that's why when there's a hack on an exchange, they're not hacking every individual's account. You know, it's not a situation where like, you know, 3 people, you know, lose money, but everyone else is fine. It's usually a case of the exchange itself gets hacked, where all their funds on the back end are hacked, and everybody loses money. That's how it works, because it's all stored in one place. Now, this is a big problem. So, when there's a hack, everybody loses because it's all stored in one place, and that's only talking about external factors. What about internal factors? What about people working at the exchange, disgruntled employees? What if at the top leadership levels, like at FTX, what if they're actually misappropriating those funds and using them for their own purposes, right? So what happened with FTX, they had a lot of those funds of the customers, and they were using it as the backing for their FTX token. Right? I won't go into that too much right now, but the fact is, because they hold your funds, they essentially own your funds. They can do whatever they want with it, and you're simply and purely trusting that they aren't going to misappropriate your funds. So you don't just have to worry about hackers and people from the outside coming to get this big attractive pool of wealth that's all stored into one place. You've also got to worry about people on the inside that may also be malevolent actors as well. So the way to get around this is to go decentralized. Now, decentralized exchanges have been around for a while. Of course, you may know Uniswap, PancakeSwap, and all the other various DEXs on the main layer 2, layer 1 protocols and whatnot. But the problem is with these DEXs is that you can't on and off ramp fiat. What I mean by that is you can't go to Uniswap per se and just make an order for like 100, you can't buy just 100 euros worth of Binance coin or 100 euros worth of Bitcoin. You know, you usually have to have a coin, and then you trade that, you know, a cryptocurrency, then you trade that cryptocurrency for another currency, right? If you're dealing purely from crypto to crypto, DEXs are perfect. DEXs do the job they're exactly advertised to do. But the reason why centralized exchanges still exist is because they fulfill a very important role of helping people go from fiat into crypto and from crypto into fiat. And for as long as they fulfill these roles, there's going to be a need for centralized exchanges, despite all the problems that I'd mentioned just a moment ago. So what's the solution to this? Well, we need dense, decentralized exchanges that allow you to onboard from fiat into cryptocurrency and cryptocurrency into fiat. And the way to do that is by using something called peer-to-peer crypto trading platforms, right? So a peer-to-peer crypto trading platform is different to the model that I was explaining before with the automated market maker, right? Where all the orders and the buyers and the sellers are automatically linked up to each other through some algorithm on the exchange. What happens on a peer-to-peer cryptocurrency is that you've got a buyer, you've got a seller, and they directly link up with each other. The seller will create an offer, kind of like how you would see maybe on eBay or Amazon. Someone decides, you know, I'm going to sell this iPhone for X amount of money, and they just wait for someone to peruse along. You know, they're looking through the list of offers and like, I like that offer, I want to buy it. A peer-to-peer cryptocurrency exchange has more in common with an e-commerce platform than what you'd see with these complicated AMM platforms. AMM exchanges, I mean. And instead of, say, an iPhone or a product, someone's saying, I'm selling Bitcoin, but I'm selling it at 3% above market rate, but I accept the following payment methods, right? And they can add any kind of terms and conditions or trading conditions that they want. So maybe it's like they will accept TransferWise, Revolut, bank transfer, PayPal, Payoneer, M-Pesa, Moon Rocks, K-pop photos. They can write whatever they want. They're willing to accept this payment, and they can mark up whatever price they want, and they can choose whether or not to require the buyer to do KYC or not. We can talk about that in another video. But the point is, what's good about this is that the buyer and the seller directly connect with each other, so there's no need to rely on the centralized system to automatically link them up with each other, right? And there are a lot of peer-to-peer exchanges that are around. You've got peer-to-peer exchanges on Binance, Bybit, OKX, but we need to go a step further beyond the peer-to-peer stuff, and we now need to find a peer-to-peer exchange that is non-custodial. So remember how I said the second problem with the peer-to-peer exchanges is that all the funds are kept in one pool, in one place, right? So there are a number of peer-to-peer exchanges, like on the exchanges I talked about, Binance, Bybit, OKX, and even some other obscure ones I might just mention off the top of my head, like Noons, BitValve, or whatever, where there are peer-to-peer exchanges, but when you send funds to the platform holds your funds, and they're a custodian of those funds, no different to how it'd be on Binance or Bybit, whatever, right? So we need to find an exchange that is non-custodial. Non-custodial means that the crypto exchange acts like this e-commerce platform, right? But it doesn't have any of the funds on it. What happens is you've got someone that has a sell offer, someone decides to open a trade with that person, and the person who's selling those funds doesn't send funds to the crypto exchange first. They send funds directly into an escrow, and this escrow is in fact managed by the crypto exchange if there is a dispute, but this person doesn't have to send funds to the crypto exchange first, right? The only way the crypto exchange can manage or have access to these funds would be when it's in escrow, and that's only if there is a dispute. And we can't totally get rid of the need for a third-party player in this, because we need someone to arbitrage disputes, and this is going to help prevent scams and stuff like that. So this is the best thing that we actually have. We still need a third party to make sure there is someone that will make sure that no one's getting scammed and make sure that everything's going to be okay if there's a dispute. But those funds will only go into I guess their custodianship when there is a dispute, which doesn't really happen often, right? Most of the time, buyers and sellers work things out, and that's, I think, the extent of the centralization of a non-custodial cryptocurrency exchange. So just to recap on that, when a seller wants to sell cryptocurrency on this non-custodial peer-to-peer cryptocurrency platform, he doesn't send it to the exchange first, so they're not just holding his money. He'll send it directly into an escrow that's managed by the cryptocurrency exchange, and then when it's held there, the buyer will then send funds via the terms and conditions that they've agreed upon. He'll send funds to the buyer, and when the buyer's received it, then he has the option to release the funds, and then the trade is complete. And there isn't really any need for the exchange to get involved, really ever, unless there is a dispute. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of the video. I actually want to recommend an exchange that I use, and that's one called HODL HODL. And HODL HODL is, if you watch my videos enough, there's a number of exchanges that I recommend, and they all do, they have their own unique strengths and weaknesses. HODL HODL is one of the exchanges that you would use if you're really hardcore about privacy, not giving KYC, and you want to ensure that the exchange is non-custodial. And I'm going to show you exactly how that is possible. So first, I've got the sign up page for HODL HODL opened up right here. So I can show you that if you want to sign up, there isn't any like details they ask for. Like as you can see, I've got an email that's just basically a burner email, just to kind of make my point clear. And I'm not being asked for any mobile, I'm not being asked for anything in particular. So I'm finally logged in now. I'm going to show you how to make a trade and how this works. If we go up here to buy BTC, I'm just going to You know, I'm not even gonna look for anything in particular. I'm just gonna click the first one here. After all, this is just for demonstration purposes, and I'm gonna say I'm gonna buy 1,000 GBP worth of Bitcoin. And what you see right here on the right is I just create a payment password 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, so on the right you can see here there's a fee of 0.5%, which is split between you and the buyer, between you and the seller. And you're going to want to put an address in here. It can be any address. It's just going to be the receiving address, because this is these are funds that are going to be sent directly to your to the address that you put in. And this is what I mean by non-custodial. This means that you don't have to worry about your funds being on the exchange, and maybe if things blow up, things won't work so well for you. Essentially, the funds will not even touch the exchange if you're the buyer. It'll go directly into your wallet, which is fantastic. So I'm just pulling up a suitable wallet address here, just so I can use as an example. Alright, I'm just going to put that in there. Okay, and I'm just going to click accept offer for 1,000. Alright, the previous person wouldn't accept someone with 0 trades, so I'm going to open one here instead with this other person for TransferWise, and I'm going to click accept offer for 1,000 GBP. Well, I'm waiting now for the person to message me and tell me that he's available to trade. I'm going to accept the contract, he's going to accept the contract, and then what he's going to do is he's going to send funds into escrow. So the funds are then going to be in between us, and then once they arrive into escrow, he's going to give me payment details, and then I'm going to send the payment to him, and then when he receives payment, he will then release those funds. So then you might be thinking, you know, how can I trust people? Well, first you want to be looking for people with high high feedback. That's the first thing. And the second thing is, because there is an arbitration process, like let's just say you send funds to this person and he doesn't release the funds. Well, what the guardrails for that is that the funds that he sent are already in escrow. So if he says that he didn't receive the funds, but you say you did send the funds, then you can open up a dispute, and the moderator can come in and help you guys out with that. And usually what will happen is that you will have to prove that you sent the funds. You know, you have to make like a video of your, I guess, TransferWise or whatever account you're using, just showing that the funds actually went to his account and that the funds were confirmed. And then he has to do the same. And I have to say, no dispute has ever not gone in my favor. Every time that you're doing things honestly, it's actually quite easy to work out. It's surprisingly easy to work out. Getting scammed is not that likely. As far as I know, it's extremely unlikely when it happens in the P2P trading world. If anyone's likely to get scammed, it's far more likely to be the seller. So if you're just a buyer and you want to buy some Bitcoin via P2P, it's very hard to get scammed. It's very, very safe. So in conclusion, the reason why I like HODL HODL so much is because the buyer and the seller can directly connect with each other. And on top of that, the funds aren't stored on the exchange itself. So if ever there's a hack, or perhaps there are some bad actors within the exchange itself that want to take advantage of their customers' funds, they can't do it because it's simply not there. All the people are dealing directly with each other, and the exchange doesn't have your funds. So if anything happens, everything will be fine. And that's why I recommend HODL HODL. So if you're interested in using HODL HODL, you can use my referral link in the description down below. There are a number of other P2P cryptocurrency exchanges that I recommend, but for the purposes of this video, as far as just the safest platform to use, I do think HODL HODL is the best, even out of the other non-custodial P2P trading platforms like local CoinSwap, which is another one I highly recommend as well. You can use my referral link in the description down below for that as well. But yeah, compared to other P2P trading platforms like the ones on Binance, Bybit, even on BitPapa, BitValve, all these other ones, I think no one does the non-custodial aspect of the trading better than on HODL. I really like it. I just want to quickly talk about some of the downsides before I sign up. One of the things is that the seller has to spend money sending funds into the exchange, sending the funds to the exchange into escrow, which is going to increase the cost for him by like, I don't know, $5, $10, depending what the transaction fees are, which he's probably going to then pass that cost onto the buyer. So maybe you'll find that the rates are more expensive on other exchanges. And because there aren't as many people using it, it's kind of like a niche within a niche thing. You know, you've got the DeFi niche, then you've got the peer-to-peer trading niche, then you've got non-custodial peer-to-peer trading. So there's just not as many people doing it. And as a result, there's not as much competition with the sellers. Therefore, the rates tend to not be as good. But if you're really hardcore about avoiding centralization when you're dealing with cryptocurrency exchanges, and you just don't want a single Satoshi going onto a centralized system, I think HODL is the best bet for you. So if you like these videos, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.